Rand Paul receives a suspicious envelope with a white powder in it and a death threat. And also Kwame Brown, NBA superstar, makes very good comments. And we're going to cover both of those. This is Elmo the Conservative, and you're listening to Brutally Honest Talk Radio.
Welcome to Brutally Honest Talk Radio, where you will learn about an issue minus the BS. We don't always say what you want to hear, but what you need to hear about the issues of the day. Here's your host, Inger, along with Elmo, with his political insight and commentary.
Hey, hello there, everybody. Hello, everyone out there in America. And also, we know we got people in Germany, Sweden, France, Mexico, and the Philippines. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for continuing to come back. This is Elmo the Conservative, and I'm holding it down once again while Inger is gone. And this episode of Brutally Honest Talk Radio was brought to you by watermelon-flavored Mountain Dew, the newest flavor that they provided. Mountain Dew in no way, shape, or form is paying me for this advertisement or endorsement, but I just like to endorse things that I like. Watermelon-flavored. I saw the advertisement on television 2 months ago, and I've been looking for it ever since. Finally, I found it this week. I was already drinking Code Red. I was a fan of that. And, I tried it this week for the first time, and I'm not at all disappointed. So, Mountain Dew / Pepsi, if y'all want to contact me and compensate me for telling people about your product, yeah, I'm not too humble. It's pretty good. Okay. So, seriously, 2 things we're going to cover on this episode. Death threats made against Rand Paul. So I'm going to start with this article that was on Fox News, and then I'll go back and give you a little background, okay? The name of this is Rand Paul receives death threat package with white powder and violent, profane message. The FBI is investigating a suspicious package filled with white powder and bearing an image threatening violence that arrived at Republican Senator Rand Paul's home in Kentucky on Monday. On the outside of the envelope was a picture of a bruised and bandaged Paul with a gun to his head and a threat printed beneath it, "I'll finish what your neighbor started, you motherfucker." So let's go back a little bit and talk about what his neighbor started. Paul in 2017 was assaulted by his neighbor, Renee Boucher or Boucher. I don't know, Boucher, while doing yard work. Boucher badly injured the senator, breaking 5 of his ribs, and eventually pleaded guilty to assaulting a member of Congress. I never heard about this. It's surprising. I don't know why I didn't hear about it. I'm obviously tuned into different things going on in the news from week to week. And then here's a quote from Paul. "I take these threats immensely serious," Paul wrote in a statement Monday. "I've been targeted multiple times now. It is reprehensible that Twitter allows C-list celebrities to advocate for violence against me and my family. This must stop. Just this weekend, Richard Marx called for violence against me, and now we receive this despicable powder-filled letter." Richard Marx is a singer from my era. Haven't heard anything from him in over 30 years. Had a mullet. I think he's Canadian. May not be, or maybe I was just watching videos on Canadian television. They're right across the river from Detroit, so he picked up a Canadian TV station. And Richard Marx, he said, Marx, an American singer, tweeted Sunday, "I'll say it again. If I ever meet Rand Paul's neighbor, I'm going to hug him and buy him as many drinks as he can consume." That's a thank you. That's a thank you for hurting Rand Paul, because Richard Marx, like a lot of people, have hate. This is thanking, okay? Which is wrong, just in case anybody was wondering. The other thing about it is Twitter is biased. They're allowing Richard Marx to, I don't know as of now if it has been retracted or if they suspended his account, but I know that by and large, leftist statements and leftists on Twitter are able to go further than conservatives are. It's just a trend that I notice. Yeah, let's go back, and I'm gonna put up this picture that was in the envelope sent to Rand Paul, and you see it's got him on a crutch and with his arm in a sling and a neck brace. And I'll finish what your neighbor started. They did test it out and find that the powder, I don't know, might have been baking soda. Maybe it's just to scare him. There was an anthrax scare a long time ago where they put powder in letters that they were sending through the post office, and a lot of people died just from being exposed to a powder or from breathing it in. So the reason why I'm saying this is because this is wrong. I don't want anybody to die, no matter who you hear me talk about. And someone asked on Twitter a couple of months ago, for anybody to answer, who do you think is the most dangerous person in Congress? And my number one top of the list was Ocasio-Cortez because of things that she's trying to do. Dangerous because of a threat to our freedoms. Dangerous because of how she wants to change the Constitution. I don't want her or Nancy Pelosi or anyone else in Congress to die or to be hurt because I disagree with them, because I'm a true constitutionalist. I don't want anyone to get hurt, anyone to get murdered. I don't want anyone's constitutional rights to be violated. I want anyone's rights to be violated. That's not the way that we do things. So I'm just saying that because it's got to work both ways. I will be a hypocrite if I criticize this person who threatened Paul, but then tomorrow I'm speaking violence against Democrats, or I'm not a fan of Black Lives Matter and the women that run it. I think that what they're doing is terrible. Black Lives Matter is a terrorist organization. However, I don't want I don't want them to see any violence. I believe that the only time that someone should be hurt or executed is if they have been arrested and gone through a trial and they have been sentenced to death by a judge. So, I just want to say that this is wrong. And please, Republican voters, conservatives, don't do what the people that hate the Republicans are doing. Don't do what these leftists are doing, or these nuts, these idiots. And it's wrong. That's it. I hope they find this person and make an example out of him. All right, so I want to speak on a minute and let some audio run for a while on this NBA player named Kwame Brown. Caught on the internet, some things that he was saying, because some people are talking about him, like Stephen Smith, and other people were talking about him and trying to call him out. I just know what I heard, what I'm playing here. What I heard here, this isolated statements, this isolated video, to me, is making me a fan of his. Didn't follow him in the NBA, but that's okay. I'm a fan now of Kwame Brown, the person, of his character. I love independent thinkers, critical thinkers, people that go against the grain.
But y'all say it's the white people I should fear, but it's my own kind doing all the killing here. Tupac was right then, and he right now. You need to stop blaming white folks. You're sick in the inside. The main ones out there making all that noise, hooting and hollering for black people, disagree with them and watch what they do to you. Watch what they try to do. Watch what they say to you. Watch how they talk to you, black man. Just disagree with them and watch how they talk to you. Candace Owens black, and I ain't heard a person sat down and had a healthy dialogue with this woman yet. I watched them put this woman up on the stage, and she's a black woman, but she ain't the black woman that you want to hear from. But she makes some valid points that I would like to hear someone challenge and argue with, just the point and not the person. If what I'm saying is wrong, educated people should be able to be emotionally strong enough to sit there and hear somebody's point. You teaching at colleges to not like people. That's not the debates that I used to see. When I grew up, a debate was about the content, the message. You see, two people say their point of view, and we see who got the most facts in it. Now, as soon as a person walk in the room, shit, who the fuck is that? Get him out of here. Call 911. Oh my God. Almost fainted. You ain't gonna make it through life. If that's what you gotta do, the f is wrong with you? The sight of a person does that to you? You fragile son of a... You need to carry your ass somewhere and go get some help. You motherfucking college kids that acting like that, that's why they probably sent Stephen H. in them colleges, to help brainwash y'all and let y'all know that y'all not great, because y'all some great mother. And how you become great is you let other people challenge the things that you're saying. You don't just sit in no damn bubble and think you the baddest, smartest mother. Imagine that. Imagine we never got to see Mike Tyson challenge himself against another person. Imagine us seeing Mike Tyson just hit the bag all quick like he was doing, but we never got to see him up against somebody else. If you think you a bad motherfucker, you standing on what you saying, quit crying about who's saying it.
All right. Yeah. Man, there was so many good nuggets in there. Yo, I don't know you, Kwame. I don't know if you'll ever hear this, but I just applaud you and commend you for what you said. So many good things in there about, I love what he said about teaching someone to hate a person. Again, identity politics and prejudice. Or it may not be prejudging. It may be because of what they're saying, but because of what they say, you end up hating the person. Or, start talking about how they look. Or just make what they're saying and their whole persona all one. And, I told Inger when I started the show, I said, the way that I debate people, and I honestly didn't know if she and I were going to get into arguments, and we disagree about a lot. But, I told her then, and we've been able to successfully do this show. And I told her that the way that I debate is I take the truth and the facts and put it on the table and present that. And then if you want to take your information, which rivals that, and put it on the table, then we'll let the two fight it out. Fact to fact, debating against each other. I don't need to, it's too much work to try to think up stuff and sorcerize and wizardize and conjure up all this stuff and all these elements to try to debate people. Just say the facts. And again, another thing is the way that I debate, the goal is never to win necessarily. I mean, I want to prove my point. I want people to understand clearly everything I'm saying from beginning to end, but the goal is to get to the truth. If someone disproves something that I say, they show that I'm wrong. Not that you just say it, because it's very easy to say it. It's much harder to prove it. Good. I have learned something, okay? I'm a Christian. I believe the Bible. I believe what the Bible says. A fool hates correction. All right? The reason I go to church on Sunday morning is so that my pastor can tell me what's wrong with me. The purpose of reading the Bible is for me to figure out what I need to change. So If somebody shows me that I'm wrong, I say, thank you, so that I can turn my course and get on the straight and narrow and get on the right path, because I'm obviously off. However rare that may be, I'm obviously off to the side. I don't want to do that. I don't want to be wasting time going off the path. I want to be moving straight ahead along the road that I need to go on. And to be submerged in something like the NBA with all the wokeness and all the people trying to get street cred, regardless of the fact that they make millions of dollars and don't live in the same neighborhoods with the people who they're trying to get their approval. They don't live in their neighborhoods. And whether or not they're going to be successful as a basketball player has to do with how they perform on the court. Has nothing to do with how they're thought of because of their swagger or because of how hood they are off the court. None of that matters if you're not performing. Nobody's going to sign a contract with you or transfer you to another team or trade you unless you're a good player. So, I know it's got some bad language in there, but still, I'm able to pull out what Kwame was saying and the content of it. And he mentioned Candace Owens, and she's just one of many people who is hated by her own people and, of course, by people on the left. But this is really about Black people, or a message to Black people, where somebody is speaking the truth and your allegiances and your politics stop you from doing the right thing. So yeah, learn how to have a healthy dialogue. Thanks for checking us out. Gonna be off next week. Gonna do a little traveling. Thank you for checking us out. Brutally Honest Talk Radio. Like this page. Add this to your favorites. Hit the notification button. By all means, subscribe if you have not already. And I hope you have a beautiful rest of the week. Stay safe, everybody. God bless America.
Thank you for listening to Brutally Honest Talk Radio. If there's a topic you'd like us to cover, reach out at bruthonest@gmail.com. That's BRUT, honestradio@gmail.com.